blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Hey folks, Michael Bate from the Michael Bate Band, coming to you from Blast Music 247's Blaster Rock and Metal Podcast. Yes, right here on Blast Music 247. Very excited for tonight's show. I'm happy to say that I actually got to meet the folks I'm interviewing tonight. I'll let them tell the story. It was recently, and I got to actually walk up to them, shake their hands, and invite them to the show. Thankfully, they said yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Freaky Things.
Woo!
Gentlemen.
Woo-hoo.
Chucky, yes! Yeah.
It's in tune.
Fred. Gentlemen, we got it. We did it. A couple of technical difficulties, and here we are. Look at this.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Really good to see you.
That's great.
Yeah, so great to meet you guys, and I'm sure we're going to tell that story. We're going to tell that story, but just for the listeners, for your fans, for you, this is kind of how the show is going to go. What we're going to do, we're going to hop in that Wayback Machine, take a little ride in time, talk about where you've been, then we'll put that sucker in maybe third gear, kind of come back to the present, kind of see where you are. Then this is the fun part. Pedal to the metal. We go to the future and talk about what's next for you, Freaky Things. Does that sound like a plan?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Right on. The answer is yes. Right on. All right, let's get in that Wayback Machine. All right. Joe, I'll start with you. Tell me who are Freaky Things, who you guys are, and what roles you play in the band, and when did this whole gig get started?
Well, first of all, we're a big mess, but we like to have a lot of fun. That is our really a number one rule. You know, number one, always have fun. I think that's why we created what we did. I'll let Chucky finish it up because we always contradict each other's stories, which is great. But I am the singer, songwriter with Chuck. He pretty much does everything else. I do all the social media stuff. So if you see us out there, it's probably me. No offense. But yeah, that's really kind of what I do as the band. And I'll let Chucky go at it on his own.
It was a stormy day in October of 1988.
1988. Yes.
I get a call from a guy named Brad Hamilton, and he says, "Come over. We need another guitar player." And I joined a band named White Lies, and Joe was the singer of that band.
Oh, this is actually happening.
Oh, it really did.
Right on. So 1988. I love 1988. That's when this gig got started.
That's
from
when
a
this gig
previous
got started.
band, White Lies. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember much of it, but yeah,
Well,
Chuck does.
Yeah. Anyway, because I didn't do anything. I was a straight edge guy. Anyway, so fast forward 30 some odd years, we started getting back together and just playing for the hell of it in the drummer's basement. And we started learning the songs again. And I had an old demo tape of cassettes of songs we had written that they'd forgotten. So I got into Logic and recorded them so they could understand what was going on. And they kind of sounded cool. And I had Joe sing on them. And I'm like, wow, these kind of sound cool. So I wrote a new song. And that sounded cool. And then all of a sudden, we wrote another song. And all of a sudden, we had 5 new White Lies songs. And then Joe and I really got into it. And the next thing you know, we had 25 new White Lies songs. And the guys were like, whoa.
They're like, no.
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 And then I started writing more stuff. And I go, Joe, what do you think of this? Joe, what do you think of this? And then one day I had this crazy idea of, because I play Magic the Gathering, and I said, I'm going to write some songs based on Magic the Gathering cards. Joe, what do you think of that idea? Would you sing on this? And he was like, oh, yeah. And anyway, Joe, you take over now.
Okay, so
Kinda
now
what
we've gone
happened.
through two different levels of White Lies. This is now the new White Lies, which
Well,
now we're going to segue.
It's the same white lie. It's just we were just old friends. We're all just
Yeah,
for the
we're
hell of it,
all
just get
still
together.
best friends. We get together once a year still. All the
Oh, right
original
on.
guys. It's pretty wild. But
Okay.
yeah, this is really an offshoot of what they what they didn't want a part of. Pretty much.
So anyway,
That's
yeah,
what freaky things.
so we were
That-
writing
yeah.
so many songs that we were just like, but this magic thing is really what
It really did.
what made freaky things, because we're like, we wanted to kind of like, let's put this out somehow and get to the magic community of Magic the Gathering, because we thought it'd be kind of cool. And Joe kind of took that over, but really this is Joe's story. I was just writing songs based on Magic the Gathering cards because I thought it was fun, and he kind of just took it, and all of a sudden in comes the the indie rock community stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, but Joe, you need to tell this story.
Yeah, that was a wild ride because I didn't know what we were doing. I had no idea. It was like, I think our goal was like, well, I just want to hear it on Spotify or YouTube or
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, that's all it was. And we did a test song. I think you guys are going to play that tonight. But it was really, that was our first release that we did. Which song is that? Rise of the Outlaws. Yeah, we're going to play that here in a bit. That was
Yep,
our
that's
very
really
first.
complete.
That was our very first single, and
Oh.
it was like, oh my God, this is wild. I mean, that you just hear that, and we've never done that before, and we were just like really intrigued by it. And then I, started sharing on social media, started on Facebook and all that, and it just kind of like grew out of nowhere. We already had Magic Songs Volume 1 written, and we were getting ready to release that. I'm like, well, we ought to try getting this out and into the public just to see what people think. And that's really how this all started.
Right. And Rise was a White Lies song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so then
It was supposed to be.
How'd that turn into Freaky Things? Where did Freaky Things come from?
Well,
That was really with me and Chuck just doing everything on our own. Lot of this stuff was not White Lies material. I mean, it flat out wasn't. We were just doing experimenting and doing all kinds of other stuff. That was where Freaky Things became. And the name itself was really from one of our songs that we wrote called Freak Show, off Tales of the Lovesick Sleepwalkers. It was like we had to have a name to encompass everything. That was the big thing with me. Once I knew we had a name, then I could like just go, this is who we are, And once we came up with that name, that's where everything just started clicking for us. And
because we might want to write a disco album.
right, we're
Yes.
working. Yeah,
Right.
I really
That's
want to do a
fantastic
disco
at some
song.
point.
I love disco.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
That's the whole.
Freaky.
It's like
thing, yeah.
we needed to leave it open to anything. It kind of was
Anything.
it's like my kind of idea originally was the Foo Fighters doing that death metal album, and they had a different name, but it was still the Foo Fighters. I forget what they were called, like Black or Widow something, or anyway.
It was
And
a
then-
weird deal.
Yeah, and then like I think Weezer has something, or I think the Foxborough Hot Tubs. Have you ever heard of that band?
No.
That's Green Day, but they're doing like that's a '60s throwback. Go check out the
Oh,
Foxborough
okay.
Hot Tubs. It's the best Green Day album I've ever heard.
Oh wow.
But they do these little offshoot projects that aren't really,
Green Day.
I just wanted, but obviously we can't do all these little names
Yeah.
and have different names. So we just needed to have one band name that let us do whatever the hell we wanted to do.
And
I
that
get
really
it.
makes it fun. It makes it fun because we can release a disco song after Magic Songs Volume 2 if we wanted to, and nobody would like, well, that's
Whatever.
freaky.
Yeah. It's still freaky.
Yeah,
Exactly.
What is it? So that's
Right.
interesting. You guys mentioned about how your genesis started in 1988. That's when I graduated high school. So when I've listened to your music, I listen to what
Good
year
year.
did you guys graduate?
1988.
88?
Yeah,
Oh,
No,
right on.
Yeah.
yeah, right,
Right
there.
on, right
I,
on.
I
So
was
it's-
maybe 1 year before that. I can't remember.
Okay, 87, close enough. Well, that's why the reason I'm saying is you mentioned that that's kind of the genesis of your relationship, because when I listen to your music, I definitely hear an 80s
Oh yeah,
metal rock vibe. Absolutely. And we'll get into some of those comparisons. I have a really good habit of comparing bands to other bands once we hear your music, but I do hear that. That makes total sense. Am I wrong?
no, we don't
Totally
deny
wrong.
it either. We call it.
No,
we're a throwback, vintage,
Yep.
hard
I'm
rock
trying to be
band.
like the Strokes and Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, but he won't let me.
We can
No, that's
always
so
do
not
that.
1988.
He keeps telling
We
me,
can do
Chuck,
anything
will
we
you
want."
please play a little bit more like George Lynch and stop trying to play? Yeah, I'm kidding.
No, absolutely. No, do you, which is
Yeah,
1988.
that's right.
That's funny. So then, okay, 1988, right? I was going to say, what are you listening to on your phone? However, we didn't have those in 1988. On your turntable, or I guess CDs, yes. Was CDs there yet? I don't think so. Were they in 88? Okay. On your turntable or in your CD player, who are you listening to? Who are your biggest influences back then?
Well, 88
Go ahead, Chad.
specifically.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just whoever your influences are, musical.
Oh God. Okay.
It's hard. It's hard.
No,
We're
it's-
everywhere. Well, I mean,
we
we're
really
so
are,
everywhere.
but start with Cheap Trick, Duran Duran, Dio, Skid Row, Queensryche, Rat, Motley.
Yeah.
It's the LA scene, and then it's but Queensryche, Maiden, Dio, and then but I like kind of a lot of the new wave stuff, but I also like a lot of the like early, the kind of the pop bubblegum, like the Cheap Tricks. I really love that kind of,
Yeah.
that kind of just that pop sensibility of pop rock type.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. I
Sean,
mean, that's,
Sean Cassidy.
Hey, Leaf Garrett.
That's right, Leif Garrett and Sean
Dude,
Cassidy, man.
I'm a Leif Garrett fan. I was, man. He wanted to play Rod Stewart. They kept making him sing bubblegum songs.
I
right?
know,
He wanted to be
I know.
Rod Stewart, man.
That's right.
How about you, Joe? Like, what kind of influence did you have? Same idea or anything different?
We have a lot of the same things that we love. I love the theatrical rock aspect of everything.
Yeah.
Kiss was a big influence on me. Elvis, Dio, yeah. Dio, just anything theatrical, I was like totally into. I was a sucker for it.
Yeah, I could buy that. And there's one particular artist that is quite theatrical that I heard in one of your songs. Again, we'll get to that point. So, all right. So 1988, right? Well,
Alice Cooper.
hey, now wait a minute. Maybe.
Maybe.
Am I the first person to discover that?
No.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that comparison because I never ever even
I
thought
am.
of that.
And Calico still hasn't said anything yet. So
Yeah,
Right on, right
it's
on.
kind of funny that
No, it's
Chucky
all good.
knows some of these people.
I know.
So let's think back to 1988 again, right? You're in your high school bedroom, you're upstairs, your wall. So I was a big poster guy. Like I love
Oh yeah,
posters on my walls, man. And for me, mostly, honestly, Kiss, Philadelphia 76ers, a couple other little things here and there, Rush. And so in your room, 1988, Chucky, what posters were on your wall?
Oh, well, I had one that was the DeLorean poster that said something about like, it had the like thing about like driving through snow and like the saying about it got like something about Coke and how busted for cocaine. You guys don't remember that poster? But
You
the
didn't do
DeLorean. No, I woke up every morning to a giant Ozzy Osbourne tapestry with him sitting on the throne with the two little girls and that was kind of cool. And Rat, lots of Rat.
Yeah.
Because I loved Robin Crosby, because he had cool hair. Def Leppard, love Def Leppard.
Yep.
Let's see what other posters. I had a lot of female posters. I ended up becoming a fashion photographer and a photographer.
Yes.
So that, it's like I kind of like split between rock bands and lots of female posters.
Yeah.
But I was,
Joe, what about you? Same room?
No. So luckily I had some really cool parents. But we had this house, and then there was like a garage, like detached garage, and a detached shed. Basically they let me make that my room.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I mean, there was a lot of parties coming through my house, but everybody would bring me any kind of poster, ripping out magazine art, and we flooded that whole wall with just anything. It didn't really matter. We just threw it on there. But that whole time period with the hair metal, the Metallica, Maiden, all those people came in. It was just everywhere. And I think that's where I really loved music, because I'd sit there and look at those walls. Who was that again? And then go figure out who that was, Yeah.
It was like that scene from Trick or Treat where he's sitting there and it's like just covered. You're kind of like that room.
Yeah, it was.
Stuff everywhere. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I agree. I had a room very, very similar. But you know what? Right now, I know we've talked a lot about your music. And you know what? I don't want to talk more about your music right now. I want to hear some of your music. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present Rise of the Outlaws by Freaky Things.
There's a warrant out for my head, dead or alive it says. The gathered outlaws and vagabonds get to the hunter's lair. With brimstone and fire, I'm lawless. Down in the shadows I roam. Gunfighters, insiders, legends are born. Get your guns ready. Rise up, there's no easy way out. Rise up, try to take the gun from my hand. You're better off dead. Call the hangman, a rope in one hand. Build the gallows higher. Brandish your guns, defy everyone. Inside a riot, with brimstone and fire, I'm drawing a dead man's hand I hold. Gunfire, the violence, saddle your horse. Get your guns ready. Rise up, there's no easy way out. Rise up, try to take the gun from my hand. Get your guns ready. We're riding on with the bullets loaded. Legends are born.
Yankee Cowboys, finish off Creek Johnson, Texas Jack. Burn 'em all.
Right on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's one of the songs that I knew actually before you had sent them over, Joe. It's one of the tunes that I had known before. Really
Cool.
dig that tune. Yes, you guys are definitely children of the 80s. Absolutely. So now tell me about that song. Tell me about the animation, the video. Where'd all that come from? Tell me about that song.
Well, first of all, the song was really we did write that intentionally, like total throwback. You know, you can hear that in everything that we do, but this was like really, really like intentional. And we did that, and then Chucky bought this video. I remember this. I'll let him tell it, but
What do you remember?
I think he learned about AI images at that time, so I'll let him.
Yeah, it
tell
was right about the same time Midjourney was coming out.
Yeah.
And since I'm a photographer, I'm trying to keep up. I'm always keeping up on this technology. So I was like, I gotta learn about this. So I thought this is a good way to start understanding how to use this new Midjourney thing. And I thought, well, let me see if I can generate a whole bunch of images, try to keep character consistent. Obviously, back then it's like, oh my God, it's so much better now. But I thought, okay, let me try to do this and just throw a little comic book graphic novel together as a lyric video. And I mean, that's all it was just trying to put together something to go along with this song.
But it took him a while to do it. I remember that.
Yeah, it did.
I think that, people, I mean, you guys know, our generation videos were huge. I mean, as we got older, videos became huge. But, today they talk about how the actual video, the 3.5 minute, 4 minute videos kind of going away because now we have these attention spans of like 3 seconds or 30 seconds. So it's reels and shorts. And so I appreciate the time it takes to actually put something cohesive to make what now has become a big thing, a 3.5 minute video. It's not even a movie, right? 3.5 minute video, but it's big now because we don't do it.
Yeah. Except I love doing now. I'm really want to do more videos though, but not like that.
That's kind of where we're heading. That's we'll talk about that later in the future, right? But
we're okay.
Well, hang on to that one. Hang on to it.
Well, you know what? We're gonna take the car. We're gonna kind of, I guess, go to the present. However, this might still be in the past because I don't know the history. But is it okay to talk to me about something I read on your website, the Magic Card Project? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Sure.
What is that? Do you want to talk about that? What is that?
So after we did the song we just heard, I haven't even heard it in so long I forget the name all the time. I'm sorry. Rise of the Outlaws. Sorry. Once we got done with that is where we were like, let's do the Magic songs because we already had it written out. That is where Chucky plays with his son in a group with Magic the Gathering cards. It's a big freaking thing. Even Post Malone just bought a $2 million card. Was that right, Chucky?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Bought a single card for $2 million.
Wow.
And is a huge fan of that.
Yeah,
like
he plays all the time.
Yeah.
No.
But so once we got into like once Chucky like told me all about it, like what it was all about. I even flew to Nashville because we were going to do a photo shoot and all that. I was like, I want to see what this is all about. I don't know what it's about. I'd like to know what I'm kind of getting into. Some of the nicest, like genuine people you'd ever meet. And they helped me like, understand the game. And I'm kind of doing my research there, And I that whole day, I just had a blast, it was so much fun for me to like discover what it was all about. And these people are like intense about that game. So now I know that we've got to like take it to the next level. Each card that we write a song to, it's got to be like top notch. And that's my opinion of it. That's how I feel about it. It's like, because that's going to go, people are going to hear that for that community. So that's really what I think about it. And I'll let Chucky go even further.
Oh, right on.
Do you know anything about Magic the Gathering?
I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. No.
So
Yeah.
it's a, you know about Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Well, back in our day, that was the thing. Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah.
So apparently, from what I understand, a guy developed this card game, kind of like, you know what Pokemon is.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was kind of the OG of that. It's just it's a trading card, but a card game, and it was basically developed, I think, to kill time in between D&D sessions, where sometimes characters had to go off and do things where other people were just sitting around doing nothing, and it became this thing. So it started in 93. I started playing in late 93, unfortunately, because I missed out on the super expensive cards, because there's some cards that are going for, Post Malone got one that's like a really weird, rare thing.
Wow.
But there's some cards that are going for, you know, $300,000 for these old cards from if you got it in 93.
Wow.
Anyway, so I played through college and then quit, and it kept going. And then my son, when he turned 11, it's like, let's kind of play this. And he really got into it. We started playing. But the cards are just, I'm looking at these cards, and the names are just, they scream heavy metal rock song, Hurl Through Hell. Okay, you know, it's like, that's, you know, there's
Eater of the Dead.
and Eater of the Dead. There's like, and there's like there's like hundreds of thousands of cards, because it's been going from 1993, and they just keep, it's huge, right? I mean, there's pro tours. There's professional Magic the card game players. I mean, this is a big deal. There's giant conventions. There's, you know, it's huge. So, I was just like, I played this every Sunday, and I thought, I'm just going to grab some cards and start writing some songs. For me, they kind of write themselves, the lyrics, because it's just, the lore's there. These are kind of easy to write.
Yeah.
You have
your news. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's kind of where it is for me. It's just, it's fun. It's just something different. It's really heavy metal. It's just, although I don't know. It was just, I needed something different to write about. I'm like, oh, here's a card. I don't even have to think about this.
No, that's fantastic. It's
just
a great thing. Yeah.
It was just
your
like,
muse is there.
Yeah. It was just really easy. Something to completely break my cycle of writing, and it sent me in a completely different direction musically, and especially the new stuff we're doing. It was letting me do time changes that I wasn't doing. It was letting me do like tempo changes. It was letting me do it.
Oh, wow.
I was doing lots of stuff that I wasn't doing in like the White Lies, like the Rise of the Outlaws, stuff. It was letting me kind of explore more of progressive-ish styles.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd-y, that kind of Duran Duran. It was I've got more stuff in me than just that. Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. I mean, it's something that your listeners now and your fans are going to learn about, because it's not something that I knew about. It sounds pretty intriguing. Yeah.
That's what I really love about it, is because it makes us different, Yeah, we had this little thing, that we do. I just really feel it makes us different. And I'm like totally respect, those cards now. Like when Chucky did volume 2, he sent me those cards, and I'm like researching,
Well, I also had to learn how to pronounce things.
That too. Yeah, I don't. I mean, honestly, I don't play the game, but I do want to show respect to, that song,
right?
And I think that's a really big thing with it.
Yeah, right on. No, I get that. No, I appreciate you for sharing that. So, as far as writing the songs, you mentioned about writing the songs, and you guys are putting out songs. How does your process, being that obviously you don't live near each other, and as an example, my producer lives 10 hours from me, so we don't sit together and do stuff, but we still make music. So how do you guys, what's the process look like, being that you live so far away? You play it on the stream like this?
No. Honestly, I just open up Logic. I get a hair up my butt. I write something in Logic. If I think it sounds interesting, then I go, hey, Joe, what do you think of this? And I'll send them a file.
Yep.
And it could just be something as simple as just, a riff,
Yep.
a verse, and a chorus, and say, "Hey, can you put anything to this? Do you hear anything?" And maybe he'll send something back. And sometimes it's a full song. Sometimes it's like I've written everything. Sometimes I've written it literally depends on it's. But usually it's me recording something,
Yep.
sending it to Joe, and then him going, "Yeah, that's cool. Let me work with it." And then he'll send me something back, and then we just kind of start building and building and building. And
Then we
working
go
and
from
building.
there, yeah.
Right. But depending on what, sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's already flushed out. Sometimes it's just bits and pieces. Sometimes I'll write something, and Joe will sing completely over something I had, which is what happened. I go, no, I like what you did. Send me just your vocals, and I'll write to what he sang.
He's got to
Yeah,
rewrite
and
everything.
erase
Yeah.
erase everything I did, and sometimes that happens.
I don't know how many
So-
times I've said, "I'm sorry. I think I went way too far
No,
whenever you're
it's-
solo." He's like, "Nah,
It's
it
great.
doesn't matter."
It's because I'm like thinking, okay, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, we're just throwing out ideas.
Sometimes
yeah.
I'll write things, and send him like a rough, very, very rough. Let me tell you, very rough, and he'll like do his little, I call it Chucky magic, and then does it and sends it to me. I'm like, whoa, didn't expect that.
That turned
But
into
that's
something.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, but one song accidentally I think he meant to send me more of the song, and I ended up getting what I think he thought was the chorus, and I ended up thinking it was the verse, and it was like, and it completely turned into something completely different.
Oh yeah, we've done that
Everyone.
plenty of times. So
Right.
there's always the back and forth. It's like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
this, he thinks that, it's like, and back
Yeah.
and forth. And that's just how we work. We're really good at working with each other on that. It's like give and take,
Yeah, my producer and I call that the dance. Once we get the initial concept down, now we do the dance. And some songs, you dance for a long time. Some you just twirl a bit and the song's done, right?
Right.
So once again, I'm so happy you're sharing how you write songs. And once again, like we did before, I want to listen to another one of your songs. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I present Harlot's Charm by Freaky Things.
Yeah, it's sort of tough matter, but it's like, hey, I found this old demo tape. Oh, shit. Do you remember any of that stuff?
Hell no, I don't remember. You know I don't remember.
I know.
Spellbound in eternity, caught in a web I weave, and it's all made up, so it seems. All the while I'm tossing turning, what's his magic put upon me? I could change me for the success with the moon crest. God save me! Hell awaits us. She knows who you are. Under the Harlot star. Hell awaits us. Knows who you are. Under the Harlot star. Hell awaits us. She knows who you are. A mystic chant, sing me to sleep. This voodoo curse and beyond my knees. I saw the road, but her frozen in place. She's got a grin on her face. Hell awaits us. She knows who you are. Under the Harlot star. Hell awaits us. Knows who you are.
Tap, didn't I?
Yeah. What?
Didn't I take you to Vinyl Tap?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking video you were just like,
Come on. Were you guys doing the Cleveland scene in Spinal Tap? Is that what that was? No.
We, like I said, we're a mess. Now, here's something about that song. I didn't even know this was being released. I didn't know there's a video. I was like, this was like, show me
You
on.
didn't sign? You didn't sign?
Nope. This was a special episode, I think, with Christina and Greg on Box of Sticks or something live. I don't know. I don't remember what show it was.
Special episode.
I am sitting there on the show. They go, we're getting ready to play your song that you don't know about. And I've never seen it, never heard it.
he'd forgotten that we even did it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And
And-
they played the video, and I'm going,
and-
and they kept saying it's with Bobby Kane, Bobby Kane
Yeah.
at the end. I'm going,
What?
I don't know
So
what it could be.
Right, but because I got back into the song because I was remixing it, and I didn't know what the lyric, because I was having to do the lyric video, and so I opened back up the lyrics in our drive, and there was this. I copied and pasted and put it in Logic, and I'm going, and we got to the end of the song, and there's these more lyrics, and I'm like, wait a second, what's these lyrics?
It's just stuff I wrote.
And it was like this poem, this
Yeah.
spoken word part. And I'm like, this wasn't in the original song. We never recorded this. And I'm thinking to myself, because I had this little musical thing at the end of the song that was just kind of like, whatever. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this would be so cool. And I'm like, I need to call Bobby because he'd have the perfect voice to put.
Yeah.
And I was just like, so I'm like, anyway, we made all this. And that's why I was like, we made all this work without Joe knowing about it. And I did this video, and I didn't even tell him. I go, Joe, we're doing this video. He didn't even know what the video was for. He had no idea. I'm recording all this stuff. Had no clue.
Now, what were you trying to do? Were you getting him back for something he did to you? Like,
No,
what was the
I was
point of this?
just being nice. I thought it would be kind of a cool surprise.
It was a cool surprise. I mean, well, I
Well, it
was
was
sweating
also a song
bullets
that
there
he wrote.
for a minute. I ain't gonna lie.
What?
I said I was sweating bullets for a while. I was like, I don't even know what the hell is going on.
You know, and I'm like, and then I had this found. It's like the very end part was a model shoot that I had done, and I'd forgotten that we had did some video, and I'm thinking, oh, this is perfect. I've got just enough video to kind of go along with the spoken part, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll just use that to put in the video, and just to kind of break it up. And I sat there for like, got my cassette player, just push record. You can actually see my head moving in the cassette, like in the reflection. I'm like sitting there for the whole song, just kind of filming these reels. I'm like, that's the other thing. It's like, I never want to use any stock footage of anything when we're doing videos. I'm like, I refuse to use stock footage of anything. I'm just like, I'm going to sit there for however long and just record. I could have gone out and gotten cassette reels. I'm like, no, I'm just going to go do all this. It just makes it more authentic or something, and just trying to do everything. But that was kind of funny because it kind of makes it stupid too, though.
The last couple seconds of the song. Oh my gosh, so that's hilarious. But the song is amazing, obviously. So you guys went through your catalog today, and obviously quite a few songs out there. I don't remember seeing a cover song. If I did, forgive me. But let's talk about cover songs. Now, I will tell you, by default, I'm terrified of cover songs because I guess I'm not smart enough to know where the line is between staying true to the song and then being true to you as an artist, right? So I'm terrified. What do you guys think of cover songs? Would you consider one, or is that just taboo for freaky things?
No, I think we would totally consider it. And we've talked about things we wanted to do, like cover wise. But I would like to go, I'd like to go like deep in a catalog of somebody, just some oddball song.
Yeah.
And turn that in. I don't want to do like something that's already out there that everybody knows. I think that, I don't think for us that would be good.
Unless we could do something like Zwan did.
Who?
the Zwan cover of Number of the Beast. I thought, like, you know,
have
where
you ever
I'm-
heard? It's like an acoustic.
so go watch the
weird.
beginning. There's a movie called Spun. It had Brittany Murphy and Luke
Yeah.
Wilson. In the very beginning of that movie, it's just him driving in this car in this acoustic kind of almost, I don't even know what you would call it. It's not bluegrass, but it's just got this feel to it. And all of a sudden, it's like the lyrics come in. I'm like, I know this song.
Yeah.
Like, oh
I'm
my
like,
goodness, that's
what
like,
the heck is it? And then it's like, it's so, because I'm watching them, I'm like, but what is this? It's freaking me out. I don't, and finally it got to it. And I'm like, oh my God, that's Number of the Beast. Like,
Yeah. Not too many songs have the lyrics 666 in it.
right.
Yeah.
But it's like, but the way they did it was so unique.
it was amazing. I mean, I was like,
It was just
oh,
like,
wow, that's
that
so
was,
good.
here's it was a very common song that I thought was just, holy crap. That was just really cool.
Okay, so
Um,
that's an example of an artist, I guess, being more true to them than the song, but that worked.
Right. And I thought that was, so that would be cool. And then the other, like Joe was saying, just like pick something that's like completely out of left field, like, you know, what's that?
But I
and
would
do-
I would really love to be freaky things about it and not and be like an artist
Right.
about it, like do it our own way instead
Yeah.
of staying so true to
Exactly.
the cover. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's that line. I guess I'm just not smart enough, or maybe I don't have the chutzpah to cross that line. But I know I'm going to have to do one. My producer and I have talked about it.
You gotta
I gotta
do one.
It's
some
hard.
point.
And that's why we're talking about doing, I think you pick something out of your genre. And,
Yeah.
and I think that makes it probably a little bit easier because you can put it into if you pick something that's in your genre already, it's like you're already kind of, you know, you're kind of doing the same thing anyway.
Yeah. No, understood.
Yeah.
Understood. So let's tell the story quickly of how finally I got to meet you guys. So this is pretty rare, right? Because when I talk to people over the interweb,
Excuse me.
well, you never really meet anybody. But the
Right.
three of us had a quite serendipitous meeting at a recent award show. Why don't you guys tell me about that?
Yeah, that was fantastic. So the ISSA Awards, you know, we were up for Tales of the Lovesick Sleepwalker for Album of the Year. And I told Chucky, I was like, I'm not sure if we'll win at all or if we even have a chance, but let's go down and like celebrate what we've done over the last year. Because we've done some cool stuff over the year that we've been together, you know, or that we actually did this. Let's go celebrate it, man. Let's have some fun. Let's meet some people and all. And we did, man. I mean, that was the best part is meeting
So good.
and hanging out. Oh my God. Like, especially when you get back to the hotel, you know,
Oh, I know.
after the after parties and all that, everybody was staying in the
Mhm.
hotels and like just jamming out in the courtyard. I mean, it was amazing. But yeah, and swear to God, man, I'm like, is that Michael Bate? And I knew you were going to be there, but you know, it was like, there's Michael Bate. I've got it. You know, I've got her over there and give him a big hug. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
incredible. That's my first time being
that was
there.
an amazing. Yeah, it was amazing to see you because we through the interweeb, we've communicated here and there. It's just kind of funny, like meeting somebody in person, getting there, talk to them, and all that.
Yeah, I will
I
say
did-
the campfire at night. I mean, playing guitars, and violins, and harmonicas till I don't know what time it was, and I was there, you know, screaming with everyone else, man. Much to the chagrin of the other hotel guests. Sorry, but not sorry. But
Yeah.
that was gold.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that hotel was like just full of musicians, so nobody really cared. I mean, it was. I did admit. So JLD was there, and we found out we totally missed each other. And we saw each other, or we were commenting on Facebook, and she's like, "I am so sorry, I didn't." She goes, "I thought I recognized you, but I was like, we're gonna make sure we take care of that next time." You know, we were running into each other.
Well, you were a
That's
little
just-
freaky to approach, you know, kind of scary.
Hey, I did it. I did
Well,
it. And here we are.
you're Michael Bate.
I wasn't as scared.
No. I was
I
scared.
wasn't as scared. I think I put 2 beers right in front of you. I said, please be on my
You
show.
I
did.
know.
Please be
Thanks
on
for
my
the
show."
beers.
I know. Thanks for those beers.
No, that was a
Please be on
wonderful time, and thanks to ISSA for doing all
I
that.
know.
Tammany
pretty
and
cool
all,
organization.
doing all that. That's what a fun time.
Yeah, that was my first time, and I told Tammany, I said, "Look, and my mother always says, if God willing and the creeks don't rise, I will be at that show every single
Yeah.
August. I just want to be a part of that. I want to meet again people like you and hang out. This is all cool right here. Nah, man,
Yeah.
I gotta shake hands and give bro hugs and share time.
And,
So I will plan on being
I've got to
And
say congrats to
congratulations.
you, because that was cool. Like, we're in the audience and your name's called and you're walking down. We're
I know.
fist bumping. I mean,
I know. It's cool.
I mean,
This show's about you, but thank you for saying that. Yes,
but that was fun though. I mean, that's great for somebody like me. And I mean, I was like genuinely happy for everybody that won. I mean, hell, I was happy for everybody. It was fun
Yeah.
to be there.
that's part of the gig. We all want everyone just to get something, and then just when other people win, we want to support them. It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be a part of it. So, all right. So you guys, you guys have a little bit of a more of a unique view than some because you made music in different like eras. Like you were making music back, we talked about in the 80s and a little bit later, and then now, and sort of different time frames. If you could change, I guess let me position it this way. What do you like about the music industry today versus 30 years ago or whatever it was? And also, what don't you like today versus the way it was maybe 30 years ago? And maybe that's a weird way to say that question, but I think you get the point. Joe, what do you think? What would you change? What do you like, don't like? What's going on?
What I absolutely love is you can like put something out and the world can hear it.
Yep. 1 second.
The bad side of that is the world don't hear it.
It's somewhere. It's somewhere.
It's somewhere because everybody's doing it, No, that's the fun part. I love how me and Chucky can record now.
Yep.
We always talk about this. We laugh about it. It's like, dude, if we had this technology way back then,
Oh my God.
it'd been so much easier. We spent thousands at studios doing our
Yeah.
recordings back then.
Now
It was amazing time back there. I wouldn't change anything. Now it's just really different. It's really different. Like you said earlier, the attention spans are nil. So it's kind of hard to like get noticed.
Yeah. Chucky, what do you think?
Kind of the same thing. I mean, I was always into recording. I used to set up a cassette,
Yeah.
I used to set up a boombox and go try to play drums. I don't know how to play drums, but I'd play drums. And then I would take that drum track and blast it over my parents' speaker system, and then take another cassette and put it in the boombox, and then play guitar over my drums that I just played over my parents' speaker system. And then I would have a 2-track. Then I would take that 2-track and play it over my parents' speaker system and take another cassette and put it in there, and I would sing over it. That was my first multi-track recording over cassettes.
That's pretty cool though.
And that was
try
what I
that
doing.
again.
Yeah, it was bad. And then I got it, a 8-track little cassette, we all in Black and White Lies. But it's, and actually, I would have killed to have had this technology, just to be able to go and all the ideas to get them out and without having to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and not like I can sit here and record 100,000 takes and not care.
Yep.
And I remember being in the studio and having, the producer going, you can't just, and I'm going, and I'm under pressure and everybody's watching me. It's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. It was fun. It was exciting. I love studios. And I love that aspect of it. The whole idea of being in a recording studio and just, it's cool. There's something cool about a recording studio.
Yeah.
I miss the idea of discovering music like we used to. you know, and just and
Go to
Colby,
the record store.
right, and then
Yeah.
you know, and this band, like, you know, it's like, oh, you're a Rough Cut fan, you know, and like, ooh, there was only a few of us and that was us, you know, and or you're this kind of fan, and now it's just it's, you know, like you said, it's like everybody's got, it's just here, there. It, you know, there's so much stuff. So it's a give and take. I think yet now we've got, you know, so much stuff to choose from. And I think it's great in some aspects, but it's not curated. And I think that's one thing that was good about the labels was I think the A&R people curated it a little bit, even though a lot of it sucked. You know, the A&R people were just kind of, you know, they bury stuff, and it's, you know, because of business and politics and all that kind of junk. But yeah, it's just, you know, we've got the freedom now, but we don't have the, you know, so how do you know, but I don't care. I'm getting to make music. I'm having fun.
Yeah, you're still making music regardless of what.
You know, I do this for me. The fact that anybody's listening to this, it still blows my mind. Seriously, it's like,
Yeah, that's
I'm
the
like,
greatest
the
thing
fact that I'm
ever.
sitting here talking to you is like, you got to be. Somebody's asking me about something I played. I'm like, what?
No, I feel you. The fact that people are listening, I absolutely get it. And guess what? People are going to listen to a song right now. Now, boys, I'm going to tell you right now, I hate to play favorites. Son of a bitch, this is my favorite, man. This is my jam. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present Nightmare by Freaky Things. Oh, yeah.
I'm
Oh, hell yes. One more time. Oh, hell yes. One more time. Oh, hell freaking yes. Chucky, I'm telling you, from bar one, you jumped on that horse and never got off. Right on. Boy, tell me about that song. Tell me about that song.
I don't remember. I mean, what? I think we wrote. I think I had to have written that for White Lies. I know I wrote it.
No, you didn't.
Yeah,
Pretty sure you didn't. So Chucky wrote this damn song, and I remember like putting stuff to it, and I go, this thing is gonna bang. You just know it when you're like singing to it, and like I'm doing that chorus, and I was like, this thing is just gonna bang, and it took us until like we discovered Freaky Things, like to put this into Freaky Things, and this was one of the big songs that we were going to put on Tails, and to start out that album, because it just fit perfectly. I mean, it was just like, that's a way to start off an album. I think if I ever redirect anybody to Freaky Things, like, what should I listen to first? Go to that song right there.
Did you tell them
you will
why,
get it all right there.
How Tales of that came about? How we curated that?
No, you go ahead.
That was we were trying to think, we need to do like an EP of some songs, and we had a bunch of songs, and I was like, well, why don't we, it was around Halloween, I'm like, well, why don't we just take some of the songs that kind of sound like Halloween, and we had like Nightmare and Psycho Beast in Love, and what was
I'm Not Dead,
and
Bloodsucker,
Bloodsucker, and Freak. Yeah, so we were like, we were picking song titles that kind of had a Halloween theme, and that's how we picked the songs that went on that.
And we did that, and then we were like, one day I was like, I want to do a video, and that's just really how, like, I went down and I did this like get up, like I was on those chains in that video.
Yeah,
I did that swaying thing.
Yeah, this is a funny story.
And I sent that to Chucky. I go, here's an idea I have, can we do something with this? And he goes,
no, wait, no,
let me take it from here.
No, he says that's not true. You said, here, I'm doing a lyric video. I recorded myself. Can you just film yourself in front of some, like a black sheet playing guitar?
Oh yeah, I did say that.
And then we could be, and he already had the lyrics all done on a black, and so he goes, just film yourself in front of a black sheet, and then we can just put the lyrics over it and we'll be done. And I watched it, and I'm like going, no.
We're doing more.
No. I'm not doing that. I'm like,
and that's his realm, man. He knows. I mean, photography, video. I mean, he saw my like little wimpy video. He was like, "No, we're gonna put this thing on steroids."
I got this.
And I've got a friend of mine named David Kroger that does he does special effects, makeup, and he had this like, he's like, Chuck, I've got this like cool sock zombie mask that I made. He's like, he let me borrow it. So it was like this hand constructed mask that had in this vest thing and these hands. And I gave that to my son. And so it's like, I've got my son chasing me around with this like creature. And then of course, and I've got him filming me, and I'm sitting there. That's the beauty of music videos, is because I can sit there and talk. No, Lachlan, get down a little bit lower. Shoot me from the lower angle, and I'm playing and it's like, and then we're running out to the graveyard gets just down the street from my house, and doing that every night and just doing different things. And we had a couple of different versions. I had one version that was extremely like Benny Hill and campy.
We do have that.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Seriously, like he was going to be like, right. It was going to be like kind of more funny, like, and you could, but we kind of went anyway. And Joe kind of like, no, let's keep it more. Yeah, he kind of like, let's do it a little more serious. I'm like, okay, and that's when I, did some more video of just the zombie. Yeah. But
you chose wisely. That absolutely fits. It's amazing. Yeah. That really does fit. Sometimes videos could be a little obscure or whatever, but that just fits the vibe and everything about it. I was attracted to that one from day one. And like you said, Joe, if you're going to introduce Yes, the band. Maybe that's a song to introduce.
And I hope we do more live action videos
Yeah.
like that. It's,
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
fun.
and more 80s style stuff. It seems like a lot of the videos today are using a lot of this 3D, motion graphics type stuff. And it's funny, we had mentioned earlier how attention spans.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching a lot of the videos today, and there's not a lot of cuts. It's a lot of like long span, it's like,
Really?
I'm just, some of the videos,
Yeah.
I'm going, okay, it's cool effects, but they're kind of like,
Yeah.
in a way, cheesy. I mean, it's like this cool motion graphics type stuff. It's like, and I was like, I wanted to do something kind of old school. Everything we're doing old school, but I tried to make it really choppy, and just quick edits, quick.
That's the song too.
It's but also just to keep somebody's flipping attention. I didn't want to hang on something too long. It was just, I don't know if it worked or not, but it was like, that was.
I say that worked. No, you chose wisely. That one worked. That one absolutely worked. So, gentlemen, we're getting kind of down to the end of the wire here. So, for your fans, let's talk a little bit about the future. What is next? What can your fans expect in the near future from Freaky Things?
Well, that's going to be a whole
Talk about
other
that.
episode. Chucky's shirt there, the sounding. What's the name of the girls' band?
What? Who?
Yeah,
What are you talking
we're
about?
going to keep that on the wraps. Yeah, that's a special episode. The next big thing for us is, of course, Magic Songs Volume 2. Pretty much got it in the can, but Chucky kind of wants to keep remixing, so we'll see where next year sometime we'll release that. No, we'll have it. We'll have it late fall.
Surrender the song. You
It
have
was
to
supposed-
surrender it.
It was
We'll have
supposed
it
to be
late
out
fall.
in like early June.
Yeah. But that's okay. We take our time. We'll slow play
Okay.
it. We have a new single that we're getting ready to release to all the radio stations. I think next week it's going to be our first single off that. It's we're not going to release the EP yet, but we're going to go ahead and get that single out there and let everybody get a taste of it. So
Yeah, what's does it have a release date yet?
for the EP or
No,
No,
the
the
actual
single.
single. What did you say next week?
I think I'm going to release that to the radio stations next week, which would be hell. I don't even know where I'm at.
To the radio stations. Is it going to be
Yeah,
released
just-
on streaming services? after that?
Radio stations not streaming yet. So
Okay.
we're not
Gotcha.
we're not putting it out. We're not
Okay.
actually putting it out.
Right on. Exciting.
Just for radio
man.
play. Just for
Yep.
radio play. We've got
That's
a couple. We are actually going to work on a couple videos for a couple songs on this one. So that'll delay the release a little bit on the full EP. But
Okay.
I think that's important. We were talking future. Where are we going to go?
Yep.
I think our big thing is video. Kind of like Nightmare. We're going to kind of like hit that as we move forward. We got a big and next thing we've got a big pop album going to be coming out in the I think summer probably. We're going to just do hard rock with a pop twist. So
Why not?
Well,
Why not?
yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. And what about
Disco?
no, the other thing?
What other thing?
Well, the bass player and the drummer.
Oh, yeah. We may have some new members coming aboard too.
We might actually have a real band.
May have a real
Ooh,
band.
The band is expanding. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Here. Ladies
I
and
think
gentlemen,
we're
we're
gonna-
hearing the breaking news right here on Blast
Yeah.
Music 247 Blaster Podcast. Yes.
I can't believe anybody wants to play with us too and like actually gets along with us, but hey, it happens, man. I mean, I don't know.
That's exciting. So, new EP coming at some point. Radio release happening next week. Maybe
Yep.
new band members. Your sound may evolve a bit. That's exciting for your fans. It's very exciting.
Just be able to play live. I mean, that would be kind of
Yeah,
cool.
that's our big thing. That's
Of
our
course.
next big goal.
Of course.
Is to do something like that.
I understand. So when you guys play live, I hope you let me know because I want to get you back on here and let's talk about all those live shows. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to conclude our podcast. Thank you so much to Freaky Things, Chucky and Joe. Gentlemen, I finally got to meet you. Now we're back on the computer again, but hopefully we'll get to meet each other again, maybe next August or somewhere in between. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Great seeing you, brother.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace out.